So, IPS classmates, this is Wii Sports. Our first sport today we'll be looking at is bowling. Today we'll be connecting this bowling sport with Newton's first law of inertia, which states that an object in motion and an object at rest will stay at rest or in motion unless acted on by an outside force. So this bowler is applying force on this bowling ball. The bowling ball, since it has mass, it has inertia. And when it is thrown down the lane, its inertia is put into motion. So it wants to stay in motion. So it plows through the bowling balls with its inertia. The pins also have inertia because they're at rest and they have mass. So it takes a force for the pins to stop the bowling ball. That is it for bowling. Our next sport is baseball. So, for baseball, we're going to do a little Newton's second law here. Newton's second law states that force equals mass times acceleration. And in other words, the force is directly proportional to the acceleration and in the same direction as the acceleration. And the force and the mass are indirectly proportional, and the mass and the acceleration are indirectly proportional. So as you can see, the baseball has mass. So when the bat applies a force on the ball, it is sent off and has an acceleration because the force is applied in the mass, so it accelerates. So if we're playing softball, the mass is bigger. So when you apply the force on it, since it's indirectly proportional to the acceleration, the acceleration will be less because the mass is larger.
That's right.
Crazy. For our third sport in Wii Sports, we have boxing. And for boxing, we're going to use Newton's third law, which states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
In boxing, there are many action and reaction pairs. As the boxer winds up to sock his opponent, he has a lot of force, and PE, which stands for potential energy. So when the boxer applies the force to the opponent's face, that is the action force, the reaction force is the face pushing back on the fist.
Wonderful.
Crazy.
So, as you see all these boxers going at it, you can see that as each one punches the other, their face, or whichever part is being punched,
is getting messed up.
Yes. So,
that's it for boxing.
For boxing.
Our second to last sport, Wii Golf, has to do with friction, a force that resists the relative motion or tendency to such motion of two bodies or substances in contact. Friction plays a large part in the sport of golf. The golfer must find the perfect ratio of force and friction when he wants to have the ideal swing to send the golf ball the farthest. Our last sport is tennis, and with this sport we will talk about momentum. The equation for momentum is momentum, P, equals mass times velocity. Tennis players rely on momentum to get the tennis ball to the spot on the court that they are aiming for. They must find the right velocity multiplied by the mass of the tennis ball to get the perfect momentum. Say the mass of the tennis ball is about 55 grams. The velocity is a made-up value of 5 meters per second. The momentum would be 55 times 5, which equals 275 kilogram meters per second. That's all. We hope you enjoyed our project, and